Our journey through time starts here with a man who saw the future. Meet Garrett Augustus Morgan, an inventor and entrepreneur whose ideas weren't just clever, they saved lives. Today we'll explore the story behind two breakthroughs you probably use every day without thinking. The modern traffic signal concept and a life-saving safety hood that protected workers and first responders from smoke and toxic fumes. We'll see how a son of formerly enslaved parents became a self-taught engineer, how his invention spread across America, and how he built businesses that served his community when mainstream doors were closed. Most of all, we'll ask, what does it take for a great idea to become common sense? By the end, you'll never look at a stoplight or a firefighter's gear the same way again. Before patents and headlines, there was grit. As a young black tinkerer in turn-of-the-century America, Morgan learned by doing, repairing sewing machines, studying gears, belts, and timing. Cleveland's factories roared. Its streets were crowded with wagons, bicycles, and the new menace, automobiles, sharing the same chaotic lanes. Morgan's day job taught precision, but the city itself became his classroom. How motion flows, where it fails, and how small interventions can prevent disaster. He noticed patterns others ignored, moments when a pause could prevent a crash, or when a simple filter could turn deadly smoke into survivable air. Innovation for him wasn't abstract. It was a practical answer to a neighbor's risk, a worker's fear, a family's need for everyone to come home safe at night. Early motor traffic was basically a free-for-all. Intersections relied on hand signals from officers or crude signs drivers, often ignored. Morgan observed a recurring problem, the jump from go to stop, with no buffer invited collisions. His answer added a protective interval, an all-stop phase that gave cross-traffic time to clear. It wasn't about colors yet, it was about logic. Create a breathing space between competing flows. That tiny pause saved metal and bone alike. Morgan's concept helped normalize the idea that streets should be choreographed, not contested. Think about it. Millions of smooth commutes today depend on someone noticing that safety isn't just about telling people what to do. It's about timing, empathy, and giving everyone a fair chance to move. Morgan's traffic innovation did more than prevent fender benders. It protected pedestrians, streetcar riders, and new drivers who were still learning how to share space. Cities that adopted buffered signaling saw fewer crashes and smoother flow. But the deeper impact was cultural. A city that treats safety as design, not luck, builds trust. People cross more confidently. Officers focus on bigger duties. Businesses thrive because deliveries arrive. Morgan's mindset had a humane pause, not a harsh command, shows up in modern systems design everywhere. In software backoffs, factory interlocks, even airline sequencing. He taught America a timeless lesson. A well-placed breath can turn chaos into choreography. Street safety wasn't his only crusade. Fires and industrial accidents filled headlines, and smoke inhalation, not flames, killed most victims. Morgan developed a safety hood with a clever pathway that drew cleaner air from near the ground and filtered smoke and particulates before they reached the lungs. It strapped on quickly, required no complex training, and worked in panic conditions. Long before modern respirators, this simple, robust device let rescuers push deeper into danger and brought workers out alive. It was built for real conditions. Poor visibility, heat, noise, fear. Morgan didn't chase perfection in a lab. He optimized for survival in the field. When catastrophe struck, thick smoke, toxic air, collapsing tunnels, Morgan's hood faced its trial by fire. Eyewitnesses recounted rescuers using the device to reach trapped workers and guide them to safety. The lesson was stark. Minutes matter, and equipment must be intuitive when adrenaline peaks. Morgan's design prioritized speed, strap, seal, breathe, and reliability, no delicate parts to fail. These rescues didn't just validate an invention, they changed procurement conversations. Cities and departments began to see respiratory protection as indispensable, not optional. Morgan translated human panic into design constraints, and then designed for calm. Morgan wasn't just an inventor, he was a builder of brands. He founded a hair care company and sold products door to door, hiring staff and crafting advertising that spoke to real needs. Why hair? Because entrepreneurship is about cash flow as much as inspiration. Steady revenue funded experiments and independence. He learned distribution, customer research, and messaging, skills he later used to advocate for his safety devices. In an era when banks, showrooms, and newspapers routinely marginalized black innovators, Morgan built parallel paths to customers. He was a one-man product studio, marketing firm, and supply chain, proof that ownership multiplies the impact of ideas. Prejudice shaped how innovations were judged and who got credit. Some buyers hesitated when they learned safety hoods' designer was black. Morgan adapted with quiet cunning, arranging demonstrations where the device's performance spoke louder than any brochure, even using white sales reps in certain markets to overcome gatekeepers. Where can you stay in the white naked? It's a painful reality and a revealing case study in go-to-market strategy under constraint. Bill? Morgan didn't surrender the mission, he changed the tactic. By prioritizing adoption over ego, he got protection into more hands. The result: lives saved that might otherwise have been lost dias. Once a good idea proves itself, it evolves. Departments refined straps, seals, and filters. Manufacturers standardized parts. Training protocols matured. Morgan's hood didn't freeze in time. It seeded a lineage of respirators that protect firefighters, miners, and industrial crews today. The same with traffic control. The buffered interval became a universal idea, later mapped to colors, timing, sensors, and now AI-coordinated networks. Morgan's fingerprint is in the philosophy: design systems that anticipate human limits, then make safety automatic. Iteration isn't a critique of first versions, it's their highest compliment. Morgan's legacy isn't just two devices, it's a worldview. He proved that observation plus empathy equals innovation. He reinvested success into community, created jobs, and mentored others. He demonstrated that you can be both practical and visionary, fixing today's problems while sketching tomorrow's standards. Every time an ambulance clears an intersection safely, or a responder breathes clean air inside a smoky room, you're watching the echo of his questions. Where do people fail? Where can design catch them before they fall? Garrett Morgan shows us that progress often hinges on deceptively small ideas. A pause between green and red. A path for air to the lungs. But behind those small ideas stand big character traits. Curiosity, courage, care for neighbors, and the persistence to sell the truth until it sticks. Let this episode be your green light. Notice problems, prototype solutions, and build systems that help people win. If this story moved you, share it, and look for the Morgans in your city today. They're out there, tuning the world one humane detail at a time. Beat. This has been Roots Renaissance. See you in the next chapter.